Today we're going to talk about a Swahili word. Some of you may know that a dozen years ago or so, I took a group of people to Tanzania to help my friends at International Health Partners Tanzania. And if you want to do some good in the world, check out International Health Partners Tanzania. It has been one of my great joys to be associated with these wonderful people and to have actually gone there and helped them build a hospital. They are integrinists. They are doing good in the world. They are doing mighty on a small scale, but small on a big scale work. And that made no sense. But the point is, check them out. So we took 18 people to help build a hospital in Tanzania. And there you can see in this image, if you're watching as opposed to listening right now, me and my daughter Leah. Leah is probably 12 in that picture I'm remembering. And what we are doing is we are painting a sign to go on a shelf. You see the shelf behind us? We created that shelf. We built that shelf. And it's going to go into a birthing unit there at the hospital. Actually, a quarantine unit. How ironic, and this was 12 years ago. A quarantine unit for people who were sick with things like malaria and dengue fever. And we were painting a lion cub and a lion on it and wishing them in Swahili to get better soon. So there we are doing that. Now, one of the words that I learned in Swahili when I was there, and the whole culture there is amazing. I could do a month of jump starts about it. Anyway, one of the words that they use there is a word Pole. Now, it's spelled exactly the way we spell our word pole, but it means something very, very different. We don't actually have a direct word translation for the concept of pole. Here's what pole means. Now, in the United States and other Western cultures, it's common if someone is sick or something like that for us to say, I'm sorry. You know, I'm so sorry you're sick, right? Well, to the people there in Tanzania, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to apologize that someone is going through it. If you think about it, you're saying, I am sorry. And sorry means I am diminished, literally. So why would you say I am diminished? What you want to do is to be more affirmative. So what they say is pole or pole sana. Pole sana. Sana means very. Okay, just like we would say very cool, they would say cool sana if there was a Swahili word for cool, okay? So pole sana means very pole. Here is what pole means. If someone is going through a challenging or difficult experience, they would say pole or pole sana, which means I acknowledge what you're going through. And I know you have the capacity to move through it successfully. All of those words are contained in the one word, pole. I acknowledge what you're going through, and I know you have the capacity to move through it successfully. So it is not a attempt to commiserate with someone when they're going through a challenging experience. It's not, oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, which, we do and actually can be very helpful in communicating in our culture. However, there to say, I'm so sorry would literally make no sense. What they say is, I understand what you are going through, and I know that you have the capacity to move through it successfully. So, as we are going through all of the things we are going through, and it's really interesting, Miami, Florida is the global epicenter right now of the coronavirus. It has more positive tests, more deaths, etc., more people hospitalized. And I was there just the other day, and now I'm back here in Key Largo. Now, the interesting thing is the people in Miami are all walking around wearing masks, at least where I was. Now, there were some people who just were not. Down here in Key Largo, very few. So for me, one of the things that I get to move through is being surrounded by people who don't understand they're doing both me and them a favor by covering their mouths, because we have a vapor-borne, airborne pandemic that is killing people. And the United States has more sick and dying than anywhere else in the world. So simply, wear the mask, and a lot of people are not. And so what I've noticed is that I'm having to say polly to myself, I get what you're going through. I get your frustration. And I know that you have the capacity to move through it successfully. The other day I was getting ready to get on the elevator here, and there was 3 or 4 people on there, not a single person wearing a mask. And our elevators are small in this building compared to a lot I've seen. And in that moment, I was able to move immediately from how dare you to I acknowledge what you're going through. Saying this to myself, I acknowledge what you're going through, and I know you have the capacity to move through it successfully. With my mask on my face, I smiled and said, no thanks, and let the elevator close. And then I thought to myself, I'm going to walk down the stairs with Teddy. Now it's 5 flights, but if I can't walk up and down 5 flights at the age of 60, comfortably, then I'm not going to live to be 100, which is my goal in life. So, Polisana, I moved through it successfully, and I also moved through it without letting them upset me. And that's an extremely important thing. So, I'm going to close with something that probably sounds a lot bigger and worse than it is, and I'm affirming that to be true. It's no irony that I use this picture of my daughter Leah, the number one person in my life. Always has been, always will be. She's my best friend. She's my business partner. We can work all day on preparing and creating things to share with you all to better your lives. And then when the day's over, all she wants to do is talk to me and tell me about her dog and about the things she's painting and what she's doing. She's an amazing artist and has a beautiful voice. And she's, like I said, she's my best friend. And this morning she texted me to tell me that, actually she did last night, but I fell asleep early. To say she wasn't feeling well and she's taking the day off today, and that she has some of the symptoms of the coronavirus, and that she is running a fever. And when I first got that, I thought, well, I'm sure it's nothing. And then I realized as time went on, my ego began to feed into this more and more. And where I am right now is Polly for her. I get what you're going through, and I know you have the capacity to move through it successfully. Me adding worry to what is going on doesn't help. Me visualizing she and I paddle boarding this time next year down here in the Keys, that's helpful. That's where I'm going to give my focus. So if this has in any way made you want to give me an I'm sorry, instead just simply say, I acknowledge what you're going through, and I know you have the capacity to move through it successfully. Both Leah and I, and you as well. What you're going through is not easy. I get it. I acknowledge it. And the different ways people are handling it, and the overall stress of uncertainty. The word anxiety means fear over an uncertain future. Well, I understand what you're going through, and I know you have the capacity to move through it successfully. So that's my message for today. That's our jumpstart. We're going to jumpstart Polly, P-O-L-E. Keep that word in mind. Try to work it into conversation. Share this message with your friends and family and tell them that you understand what they're going through and that you know they have the capacity to move through it successfully. All right, everybody. check out so we can say goodbye before we move into our complaint-free meditation group this morning. If ever there was a time and a need for meditation, this is it. I'm giving you 30 free days. That's 20 live meditations and unlimited access to the entire library. Just check us out. All right. Cynthia Barcher says, yes, it's been a strong rain. They're talking about the rain, one of the favorite places. Was my launch of my joke. Hello from rainy Iowa. Greetings from Louisiana, from the squirrel. Hello, squirrel. Polly, says Suzanne. Thank you. Positive thoughts for you and your daughter. Good. I only want those. Thank you. Hillary Hunt Robertson. Polly. I will remember this word, says Denise. Thank you so much. Sarah Green says, thanks. Important concept. Polly. Awesome. Michael Nagy. It implies hope. It implies hope. You know, the word hope is defined as a wish coupled with a confident expectation of fulfillment. So when you tell someone, Polly, when you say, I understand what you're going through, you don't take on the energy and the pain, etc. You simply acknowledge that they have the capacity to move through it, and there is nothing selfish about that. It is selfish to think that you need to be involved in the stress and struggle of every single person on the planet, and you don't. Let them walk their path, bless their path, and be grateful that they share their path with you. Thank you all for sharing this morning with me. I want to share with you what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, and I'm vamping until I find it because I literally just wrote it this morning. Got up early this morning. Oh, we're going to talk about what I call the myth of Wang Lung. Wang Lung was the character in The Good Earth, written by Pearl Buck, which was a terribly racist movie, but a wonderful book. So Jerome says Polly. Jerome's probably heard me talk about that before. Anyway, listen, everybody, have a blessed day. And whatever you're going through, Polly. Remember the last part of that. It's not that I'm just saying, you're on your own. I'm saying you're on your own and you're going to be successful. And if you need me, I'm right here. Thanks, Michelle. Y'all take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.